What would prompt a nation in the heart of Africa to pivot east in its military alliances? Could this shift in Niger's direction be a response to the rising security concerns in the Sahel region? This story begins with the escalating tensions and instability in the Sahel. In the year 2022, France, a long-standing ally in the region, began to increase its military presence in Niger and Chad to combat terrorist groups. This was a strategic move in response to the withdrawal of 2,400 troops from Mali. The Sahel region was in a precarious state. Recent coups in Mali, Chad, and Burkina Faso had weakened France's alliances and emboldened armed groups. This potentially paved the way for increasing Russian influence. The following year, in 2023, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made a historic visit to Niger. This was a clear signal of the shifting forces in the Sahel and the growing importance of Niger as a regional partner. Despite facing extreme poverty, Niger showed promise in democratization and military professionalization. The US, like France, viewed the Sahel as a front in the war on terror and supported European and regional forces in the area. Paradoxically, these Western states are the very countries that are responsible for the death of Colonel Gaddafi, which ultimately led to a vacuum of power and serious security issues in the Sahel region. However, a significant shift was on the horizon. Recently, dozens of Russian military instructors arrived in Niger following a new agreement with the military junta. This move marked a strategic pivot away from Western influence. The junta, which had seized power and cut ties with the West, was now strengthening relations with Russia, China, and Iran. This shift did not go unnoticed. The European Union and ECOWAS suspended the junta, voicing concerns about delays in returning to civilian rule and potential human rights violations. To recap this evolving narrative, the Sahel region's rising security concerns prompted France to increase its military presence in Niger and Chad in 2022. In the following year, the US also sought to strengthen its partnership with Niger. However, a new chapter unfolded recently with Russian military instructors arriving in Niger, signaling a decisive shift in the nation's military alliances. This change in direction has raised eyebrows and concerns, creating a new dynamic in the region's geopolitics. So, as we ponder the initial question, it's apparent that Niger's pivot to the east is a response to the region's escalating security concerns. Yet it also poses new questions about the future of the Sahel and the global balance of power